For this screencast, I wanted to not focus so much on the content, but address some frequently asked questions. And hopefully everyone can sort of understand what I'm talking about. And I think they're more like general school issues rather than international business issues. So with regards to our next reflection, and as you know, the reflections and quizzes and little ongoing small assessments will combine to be 20% of the course to reward you continually interacting with the classroom materials and your peers. So what makes a good reflection? Well, when we're talking about our learning styles, I think it is about being honest with ourselves. No one is going to be a perfect learner. I need to understand myself that if I'm scrolling through my phone, it's probably not going to be as memorable as if I get a book or if I make notes or otherwise annotate the sheet of paper I'm working with, because I like to rephrase things into my own words. Maybe you can connect it to, hey, this one time, I had this class and I learned particularly well because there were, special kinds of handouts, or I've started to listen to the podcasts while I work out, and I find that that's a good way of absorbing the textbook information in this course. Ideally, you'd probably make a resolution for the future. Hey, now that I know that I like the podcast, but I have to hear them twice to properly remember everything, I'm going to make sure every week I have time to listen to the podcast section twice. And that's about getting the good mark for this reflection. And then the next step is actually applying it, and again being honest with yourself so that you do better going forward. I think one thing about being at school in terms of being successful and also being motivated is that you find your own voice. Understand that there are 100 students in this class, and not everyone is going to have the same viewpoint on each issue. I think if you pick the same issues as all of your friends, it's no guarantee that you'll all be engaged and like it. Think about, what do you care about? What have you seen on the news, online? What do you care about? Many of you went to the climate protest, so wouldn't that be a great time to work climate change or the lack of action about climate change into international business? When the topic is meaningful to you, it's more motivating and the ultimate quality is better. Like, this is an example, many people for the photo essay, I'd say 40 or 50, submitted basic stock photos that you can buy a license for. You can find through a standard image search on Google. And I might have seen them myself when I was looking for the wallpaper graphics for the classroom. Like, can we do better than that? Can we tell a story? I think something that's personal, that's meaningful to you, like this product you use or this issue you care about. And I think it's also better to show someone rather than tell someone. Like, I could write a big paragraph about the automotive industry, but what if I showed a GM plant in Ingersoll, which is in southwestern Ontario, shutting its doors, and showed how that hurt Canadians. If you remember that video where Carrier was announcing the plant was closing, and you could hear people in the background saying, oh no, doesn't that show you better than just writing a lot of text? And then maybe you contrast it with a photo of a new plant, like a GM is opening a new truck plant in Silao, Mexico. And again, that's a way of telling a story. We're not using a stock photo, we're not using clip art, we're using a specific incident that really illustrates the point. And I think that if you do that, if you're honest, if you try to sort of find your own personal meaning in the topic, and if you do try to, when we have an assessment, tell a bit of a story, try to create that relevant situation, that meaning, I think the quality of your work will be a lot better, and I think you will get more out of the international business course.